Hello everyone and welcome back to Farming Simulator 2022. We're back here in Elm Creek with Grober Games. So as you probably saw at the beginning of the video, the only thing we really sold over the winter was our produce and we made about 3 grand. I took a chance at trying to get a strikeout back there, but it looks like I kind of fell short. Um, Unfortunately, over the winter, there wasn't really any good equipment that came up for sale, so most of the stuff we're probably going to end up buying retail because we really can't wait any longer. I need to start getting after these weeds in the field, especially with being right next to the highway here. Everyone can kind of just look and see how poor of a job I'm kind of doing right now. So I think we might start out the day with that. I was thinking with the lucrative fall we have doing all that custom work and helping all the other farmers out, we kind of got a good basis that I'm thinking about picking up another field here. I was thinking about talking to Chuck and see if he'd let go of this other patch here. Because right now, I think we could make this work. I think we can maybe generate enough income through fertilizing contracts that we might be able to get a combine on sale too when next fall comes around, so that way we don't have to rent one. And if we do get that other field, I think we'll just do this and those other 2 fields in beans. I think he wasn't asking too much about it. I think 65-ish was the last time. Yeah, 64 and a half almost he was asking. Or we could just save about 8 grand and buy the neighbor next door's field, but I kind of want to buy this one. Because if I get this one, I kind of want to make it, would want to kind of combine all the fields together as one, combine these 2 fields into one bigger field, but I kind of want to wait before I do something like that. Just because I don't want to have to rent a rock picker again and such. I think the most optimal thing is just to buy this little piece over here from Chuck. See if he'll sell it to us. I'm going to go in and I'm going to take the tractor down to the shop today because either way I'm going to have to pick up a sprayer. I'm going to have to pick up a disc harrow or some sort of tillage equipment. So I think we'll head down there because either way, it's already April. And it looks like there's rain in the forecast. So I think what we'll end up doing is that maybe we'll buy the tillage equipment first, and then we'll think about getting some burn down or some weed killer and getting a sprayer next go around, and then we can hopefully get our other crops in before it rains, and and then do all the weed killing at once, so that way we can make one pass, get it all done. But yeah, we'll check in back in a little bit here. We'll get with Chuck, see what he sets us up with. Hopefully he doesn't rob us too much, but Chuck's been a pretty good man. He's definitely helped us get a lot of work. And another side note is that the cotton harvest from last episode we're still collecting on that. They're still holding on to the bales. The spinneries just got overloaded last fall with enough cotton that keep them busy, and then with all the wool from sheep too isn't helping. So we'll still slowly be trickling income from that. I'm guessing we'll have another 5 grand or so if I have to take a guess coming in, which ain't too much, but it'll get us by. But we'll see you guys in a bit. I'm gonna head in and talk to Chuck, see what he sets us up with for some equipment. All right, so it took a little bit of convincing the Chuck to sell his ground to us, but we did able to nab it from him. I shouldn't say nab it, but we did kind of twist his arm and such, saying how he kept telling us he would sell it to us and such, and he was getting out of farming. I kind of convinced him, we're getting a pretty good start right now. This will be our first official spring, and it should be I think you should just hand over the deed to the land right away. And he did. So now Chuck is completely out of farming. We got his last piece of ground, so the rest is making good relations with our neighbors. I'm sure we'll build it through time with our contract work and such, but he also set us up with a nice disc carol. This is an Amazon. It's about 20 foot in length, about 6 meters, so we'll be able to get quite a bit of field work done. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to grab the class here and end up hooking up to it right away, getting that done, and then I think we're going to grab the drill and we'll get to drilling right away. Try to get all our beans in before the rain comes. And that will probably be most of the time lapse this episode, so. But yeah, unfortunately I was really hoping this winter to pick up some kind of tillage equipment for dirt cheap price, but that just didn't work out. Apparently nobody wanted to let anything go over this winter, which is okay. I mean, this will last us for quite a while, I feel like. I mean, we'll be able to cover quite a bit of ground with it. I think if we get another piece or two of land, I think we might have to start looking into investing in another tractor. I know one of the things I was talking to Chuck was talking to me about, another way to kind of help bump up our yield a little is we could buy a roller, but I'm not completely sold on one yet. Just from like real life experience, I never have been I've never been sold on rollers, at least around here. I feel like if you get the wrong time of weather, they kind of cause more issues than what they were. I mean, most people around here use them to help improve seed to soil contact ratio after planting and to push most of their lower rocks into the ground, which I can understand that. It saves time for having to hire people out to come pick rocks in the field, because usually that's how it's done, is that you'll have a group of kids, or at least when I was growing up, I should say, you have a group of kids get together and get a rack and they'll walk the field and pick the rocks between the rows and such. But nowadays, a lot of people will just have a rock picker and send a guy out there with a loader tractor and such, and the rock picker, and pick up rock that way. But I think that's what we're gonna just hold off a bit on it for now. I mean, I'm sure he's got one reasonably priced that would be fine, but with as little as ground as we got right now, I just don't want to, and with us still having to invest into a combine yet, I don't really want to do that. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I think the next big purchase will definitely be a sprayer, and I'll set us back between 30 to 35 grand, I think he said, for a brand new one, and then the chemicals to go with it. So we'll be a little tight. We might be able to still afford a smaller combine, but I'm gonna wait till the spring is over, till we get closer to fall, before I think about buying a brand new combine. Like I said, I keep watching the used market, hoping that something will pop up. But we'll jump into time lapse now. We'll get this done, and then we'll grab the drill and get to work. So we'll see you guys afterwards.
Polaroids all scattered across the dusty floor, in the backseat of my Chevy 58, along with bits of candy wrappers. Looking back to when our castle was a shack, vacation was making figure eights in the parking lot. Remember when we used to forgive when we forgot? It wasn't like we didn't work hard enough. I'm trying to hold on to all the things that we did right. But how could I forget about you leaving, since my heart has never stopped bleeding? All that I can see is that I lost you then. I'm looking for a reason to forgive you, and sometimes I even you say that it's alright now. I am tearing down this wall. Years go by and gradually the tears run dry, but I'm still here looking for your face in the faceless crowd. Long after our final ship had drowned, it wasn't like we didn't work hard enough. I'm trying to hold on to all the things that we did right.
Looks like once again we're not beating the rain. Starting to become a common theme of this episode, I'm noticing. But we're just gonna head back for now so we don't cause any issues, especially if they're new equipment. We'll just have to go inside and relax a bit. Hopefully it'll stop soon, and maybe we'll be able to get back out here later today, but forecast is not looking too promising right now. Just back this up here. But yeah, it seems like this game just doesn't want me to get stuff done, and just with it always raining and such. So I think chair adjusted here. Kind of a nice relaxing rain though. It's not super heavy, but I think we'll just relax here. Wait for it to stop, hopefully. And maybe we'll get back out there and get everything we want to get done today. I also realized that we still gotta fertilize it. The two backfields, so we'll have to do that before we get to planting. I kind of wish that I did it before I started rolling around with the disc, cutting through the ground with the disc harrow, so I could get it incorporated in the ground a little better and get a better coverage. But it'll be fine. We'll make it work. But we'll just do a little time skip here. Hopefully the rain will stop and we won't have to go into the month of May for this. Otherwise, we're going to start pushing it, and we won't get as much contract work in as I was hoping. So we'll see you guys in a little bit after the rain stops. Kind of took a little nap while I could to make most of my time here. It's about 2, almost 2:45 in the afternoon, and the rain finally stopped. So I think it's time we get down there. Hop back into the tractor here. Let me get back to work. Kind of a nice little hiding hole up there away from the world, kind of just sitting back and watch everything from the yard. But we'll start back on our time lapse here. We're gonna head back out, get the field tilled. Hopefully, my goal is by the end of this episode to have all 3 of these fields planted, because I still got this little one up here to plant. So but we don't have much left to work. It doesn't look like it's super sticky out, so that'll be an advantage to us. Get back to work right away. So we'll see you guys after the time lapse.
Since my heart has never stopped believing, all that I can see is that I lost you then. I'm looking for a reason to forgive you, but sometimes I even wanna be with you. Just the way you say that it's alright now. I am tearing down this wall. How could I forget about you leaving? Since my heart has never stopped believing, all that I can see is that I lost you then. I'm looking for a reason to forgive you, but sometimes I even wanna be with you. Just the way you say that it's alright now. I'm tearing down this wall. tearing down this wall.
Discovered a little problem here with this cedar. I can't change the seed type. I wonder if it's one of the conflicting mods, so we're gonna stop right here for now. I think I know what mod it is, but we're gonna stop right here. I'm gonna do a little editing magic and we'll be back. I think I know how to fix this though. Otherwise we might have to go back and reinvest into a different cedar, and I really don't want to do that. Alright, we're back. I figured out what the issue was. It was one of the mods was conflicting with it. It was the field creator mod, which was kind of weird because it says cultivators and disc harrow specific, but for some reason it was interfering with this one. But at least we got it figured out here. We'll get back into the time lapse. We'll get this. Oh, I almost forgot what I said I was going to do first. We're going to fertilize this field first before I get to that. But we got the other issues figured out. We'll get this fertilized, get that put away, and we'll jump into the time lapse. So we'll see you guys at the end of it all.
Like a light, lighting up in the dark. You make it right, I forgot how to act. It's so classic. Every time you make me nervous and I lose my words. It's been a while since I forgot the most simple words. I feel calm when you're around, like nothing can break me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We are two peas in a pod, two peas in a pod, two peas in a pod, two peas in a pod. That we are two peas in a pod. Now I know why it never worked out before. High low, it would always turn out bad, so bad. But every time we start a fight, we always stop in time. We both know how to be gentle, never cross the line. I feel calm when you're around, like nothing can break me. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes, but I know we're safe. Two peas in a pod, a roller.
All right, so there we are. We got our spring planting done. I think I got a few touch-up spots there. I did pretty well with the first few group passes, then I kind of started falling off. I think there's one right here. It looks like there's one further ahead. But yep, there's a few right there, it looks like. Kind of hard to tell with the way they design the ground textures in this game, where, especially with the shallow tillage, where you went already and where you haven't gone. So we'll take one more look at another look at the map here. Make sure we got everything covered. I don't want to leave anything too exposed, especially since if we would do that in real life, we'd have a chance for it to form kind of a washout or a gully in the field because there's nothing holding that soil in. You don't need all our good soil washing away on us, especially since this, like I said, I think this field yielded pretty good last year if it wasn't for the weeds. I'm willing to bet if we get the same capacity of a combine, we would get at least more than a full tank off it. I think this is the last pass here. One thing I haven't checked, and I had a mental note of it, and I kind of got more concerned about getting seed and everything into the ground. Let's check. Yeah, it looks like we got it all covered, so we're good there. So let's head on back before I get too far. Lose my brain again, so nothing good on the used markets. What I was going to check was the soybean prices. And I think that's how we're going to finish out the day. I was waiting until they hit about $1,000 per 1,000 liters, and we're finally there. And we got at least, I want to say, probably 3 loads to haul in there. Because we had... Because the one guy we helped with the contract had a pretty good bumper crop, so he gave us some, for, especially since we beat the rain to get it out, because he didn't have any loss to it. We'll just put on this on this side for now. That way it's not in the way. Go get our little wagon here. And we're gonna take it to... We're gonna take it to the east elevator this time and drop it off there and load up there, so that way... It's kind of a goofy way I took the first time. I got a little lost, not used to the area yet, but you know, we made it there alright. Have a nice fit in there for this carol, so it's out of the elements during the off season, so I was pretty happy with how that turned out, that disc carol, so can cover quite a bit of ground, even if we could also choose to pick up some tillage contracts if we want to, but I think we're going to hold off on that stuff. There we go. Got 1 full load. Might be 2. Might just be 2, but we'll have to make sure we get this there, get the elevator before it gets too dark, because we don't, like I said, we don't have any lights on this wagon versus the other one we had, but this one we can at least move quite a bit more, it feels like. Maybe at some point we'll buy ourselves a second Kilbros wagon. When we really get going, we'll pick up a nice J&M or maybe a Brent wagon. Brent's kind of more the popular brand around here, around the parts I live at. There's a few J&Ms, but Brent is definitely the king because manufacturer is Underfirth. Brent is actually located in our state, so it's kind of easy to see why it's more of the bigger brand gravity wagon, but there's quite a few of them out there, but I'd say for the local area, I would say we're about, I want to say like 60-40, like 60% people still use gravity wagons and about 40% have their own semis or hire out for a semi. Maybe more like 65, 35. That's probably a more accurate one. Oh, okay. So that's not the dump. Just got a shipping container in there. So that must be the dump we go to over here at this elevator. Kind of an awkward placement for that, so get that offloading quick. I'm gonna run up here, get the train rented, so that way when we get back they'll be waiting for us and we could get the grain shipped off to Goldcrest. Oh yes, the sad reality of a gravity wagon. It takes quite a bit longer to offload, but this is fine. But we'll do a time lapse with the last load. Actually, you know what? We won't do a time lapse. We'll just do a time skip to the end where we get the last one offloaded here, and we'll get the grain sold, and we'll end on that note. Alright, we're just waiting on this to finish unloading here. I think while we wait for that, we'll run out here, back the train up to where we gotta load it onto. That way traffic can keep going. Wire it up. Tank open. Just get it out of the way so people can go about their normal day without me holding them up while I'm trying to make a few extra bucks. Well, maybe they will go. cross ties were up, but they're being cautious, which is better to be cautious than to try and beat a train. So, got completely unloaded. Let's get 20,000 liters of soybeans. Oh, I thought the cross ties were up. I guess I must not be back far enough. That's fine. That hatch hole closed. Get this sent off. Yep. We just made 20 grand off soybeans. I think that's a close. That's a 300 bushel wagon, so we're just shy 600 bushels of soybeans we just sold. So I think that's where we're gonna call it here. I'm just gonna take this back for the evening. Pull the wagon through, get that put away, so it's not sitting outside. We keep that nice. But yeah, I feel like today was somewhat productive except for the rain. But we still got everything in the ground like we wanted to. We still got we gotta do another round of fertilizing on the beans yet, and then we gotta get all the spraying done for all the fields, and then from there we might pick up a few more contracts. And I think after another field purchase or two, we might have to look into investing in another tractor so we can get some hired help and get the work done a little quicker. But first things first, we still got to get a combine, and only two real options, well, three options in my price range right now would be the Rostomash Nova and the TX32, and then the Dominator we rented last season, which I'm kind of torn between both of these. They're both really good combines, but I think the Dominator's got the bigger head. Yeah, it's just got a little bit bigger head, but in the long run, they're both roughly the same price. The Class is a little more expensive, but New Holland's got a smaller head, so I gotta take my pick. I think we're just gonna stay away from that. Yeah, we're just gonna stay away from that one. Be about 100 grand even. Then these two are both under 100, and that's more my price range. But for now, I think that's what we're gonna call it. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you're enjoying the content so far, please feel free to subscribe to the channel, and if you have any suggestions, please leave a comment. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. And thanks for watching.